What's up, guys, and welcome to JTales TV. So today I wanted to talk about something that I read in the news. I was looking online and I saw that next year they're going to attempt to do the first successful head transplant. And what's interesting about that is, I read it, I came across it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and I almost went about my day, but then I read the entire article, and it really got me thinking. So just some background info, if you guys don't know. This guy volunteered. This guy's from Russia, and he's volunteering to do a head transplant because he has some congenital disease where his muscles don't work in his body and his body's all shriveled up. So he's kind of like Stephen Hawking, where he can't move. He can only type with his wheelchair and move it using a joystick. So he can just move his fingers basically, but not much else. So he can't do much, right? So I guess he figures, hey, I have nothing to lose. Let me volunteer for this. So the other person is someone who's brain dead, and their family has, agreed to use his body to give to the other guy because they're going to put his head on the body. So it's a complex procedure. This has never been attempted before, at least to public knowledge. And they are going to have 80 surgeons in the room. I'm assuming 2 tables, and they're going to cut the heads off of both people at the same time. They're going to freeze the guy who's in the wheelchair, the guy who has a bad body. They're going to put him at 50 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, and so that the blood moves slower and that he'll have a higher chance. He'll have more time that he could survive without a head on his body. So then they're going to attempt to use a crane that'll carefully lift the head and put it onto the other body and let it, connect. I don't know how they're gonna connect the veins and the major arteries that are in the neck and the esophagus to eat food with. And there's just so many tubes and so many things that you gotta connect, and the nerves too, and the spine. But anyway, I think they have it all figured out. They're going to use electrodes to stimulate growth for the nervous system, which kind of makes sense. I don't know how they're going to connect all the other things, but they're going to have a lot of the best surgeons. But anyway, it's crazy. I think it's pretty wild. I don't think it's going to work. But if it does work, this now has a lot of social implications, and I didn't realize it because I was like, oh, that's fine, the guy's gonna have a body. Now he'll be able to live his life, right? But no! Hold it right there, guys. So now think about this. What if the guy who got the new body wants to have babies, and he ends up having babies? Those aren't his kids. Those are gonna be the kids of the guy who was dead, basically, because it's using his DNA, since the sperm is coming from the testicles of the other guy's body, right? So, what? Alright, so that's one thing. Now, if he does have kids, would the family of the deceased guy have rights to the child? Because technically it's gonna be his kid, not the new guy's kid, even though his head's on the body. You know what I mean? This is insane. So, I don't know, guys. This is wild. I think he should switch heads with Kriparian. Don't they look similar? Because then he would be really good at arena. So there's that issue, right? So, assuming we get over that. Now, what if, first of all, in order to even have kids, doesn't the deceased guy have to give consent? Otherwise it's rape, right? But what? No, it's the new guy's body now. So I don't know. But someone on Twitter said technically it's not rape because he's just watching, since it's his body doing it regardless. The other guy's just watching. I don't know. This is wild. So The other thing that got me thinking was the whole Orochimaru complex. So now what this will allow is, well, if you have a tumor in your, your heart or your testicles and you're gonna die, you can now transfer your head onto another body that's healthy and live forever. Is that not crazy? That's pretty crazy. So essentially, we will become gods. Aside from the fact that our brains do decay over time and, we get dementia and Alzheimer's, but assuming then, what if you just get a brain transplant? When does it stop? When can I stop just replacing things? Is our brain what gives us our consciousness? Because if I get someone else's brain in my body, will it be me anymore or will it not be me? What part of the brain determines that? You know what I mean? There's so much that we don't know yet. But essentially, yeah, it's scary because people can just kind of keep body hopping, especially if they have a lot of money. What if it's just you go to a poor country and you're like, I'll give your family $10 million if you give me your body. You know what I mean? And you can exploit people like that if you're rich. So this just opens the gate to a lot of wildness and uncertainty and social ethical issues and a bit of science fiction as well. Maybe some sort of Frankenstein's monster is coming into play here, but I don't know, man. This is wild. We're entering a new age of, people are part cyborg. People are doing everything they can to survive. But when's the right time to pull the plug? You know what I mean? Because 50 years ago, if you got into a car accident, you were dead, or 100 years ago rather. But you know what I mean. So now we're trying to keep people alive as long as possible. And things are happening when people are in comas. People are giving their bodies away. Other people are putting their heads on those bodies. So point being is, I don't know, to what extent is this going to happen? I don't know. But if you have any ideas for any of these subject matters, feel free to discuss in the comments or tweet at me on Twitter, because I'm very curious about this discussion and I'm finding it really interesting what people have to say. Another thing is that and this might be strange or silly to say, but it takes away the beauty and the struggle in disabled people, because we're gonna get to a point where, if you're disabled, don't live disabled. There's no point. You might, you know what I mean? Because this guy is taking a risk in order to have a second chance, right, of not being disabled, but he's risking dying. And you might be thinking, well, the guy has nothing to lose, right? But if every disabled person thought like that, you know what I mean, they would just be giving up. There is some sort of beauty and things that you can learn from being disabled and living your life, in a humble way, and you know what I mean? You can inspire people. There's a lot you can do with that. Whereas if we start making a society where, you're disabled, you're useless, or just get an upgrade, get a synthetic, arm or pair of legs, that is not worth it. You know what I mean? But I can see both sides. It's well, man, if the guy lost his ability to move and walk and once had it, it might be different from being born that way. You know what I mean? But it seems like we're getting to the point of meta humans after some time. I don't know, guys, but point being that this is crazy, and if this happens, it's going to lead to a lot of implications that maybe I haven't even thought about yet, or anyone hasn't even thought about yet. So if you can think of any other reasons why this could be morally or ethically wrong, please leave me a comment. I'd be happy to discuss. Also discuss amongst yourselves. Let me know what you guys think about this issue, because I think it's pretty cool, but I also think it's kind of scary. They've successfully done it with mice. So I think they're going to just try and do it with people, and we're going to become little action figures where you can just pop the head off of one and put it on another. But in any case, guys, that's it for my rant. I just thought this was an interesting topic of discussion. If you want to see more of these, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know how you liked it, and I'll see you all next time. Later.